Hi everyone, today's video is an unboxing and component overview of Duel Kami, a standalone expansion in the Black Rose Wars universe. The game is published by Ludus Magnus Studio, who also sponsored this video. Duel Kami is a duel game for just 2 players. It also includes a solo mode against an AI avatar that can also be included in the 2-player games to increase the difficulty of the Black Rose. Components of this box can also be used as extra content in the Black Rose Wars games. More details on all of that as we go through everything there is included in the box of Black Rose Wars Duel Kami. So let's get straight into it. Okay, here we are. The box is the same size as the other Duel versions of Black Rose Wars, Duel X and Duel Void, so if you have any of those or if you've seen any of those, you know the size of this box as well. And of course, the first thing inside is the rulebook. It is a sizable rulebook because it includes all the rules about Black Rose Wars, and of course that's because it is a standalone expansion, and even though you can use it as an expansion, you can also buy this as your first touch with the Black Rose Wars universe, which means that the rulebook needs to include all the rules you need to know. For those who have Black Rose Wars, I think most of the rules are already familiar. I only noticed that there are some portals here that connect opposite sides of the lodge, and it includes a solo mode, which I don't think exists in the other Duel versions of the game. I don't play solo, so take this with a grain of salt, but I think this is the first Duel Black Rose Wars that includes a solo mode. The avatar can also be included in the 2-player version to make the Black Rose Wars opponent harder. Next up, we have the punch board. It's just one, and first we have the room activation tokens, as you can see here. Same way as with any other Black Rose Wars game, these are placed on the rooms in the lodge, and if someone activates the room, they turn upside down so that it becomes unavailable for the rest of the round. The crown token that marks the first player. 4 avatar activation tokens that are only used in solo mode or if you use the avatar in the 2-player version. 6 power tokens for the 2 mages and the Black Rose that go up to plus 60, I think I saw somewhere. Persistence tokens for the spells that are persistent, and you need to mark those to know that they are active. The 4 physical action tokens, 2 for each mage. You use those to mark that you have done your physical actions for the round. And then finally we have the portals, which I'll take a couple of minutes to assemble, and I'll be back to show you exactly how they look. There we are. There are 2 of each color. They come in pairs, and you can use either just 2 of them or all 4 within a game, depending on what the players decide. These are placed on pretty much opposite sides of the lodge and connect the rooms they are attached to. So you may be on opposite sides of the map, but in essence you are next to each other if the rooms connect through a portal. Only portals of the same color connect with each other. Then we have the game board, which also needs to be punched. So again, I will be right back as soon as I've punched out all those little pieces. There we go. I zoomed out a little bit so that all of it can fit into the camera. You can see the holes here. These are to hold the cubes in space. It's not double layered, but you can use the table as the underneath layer and the cubes fit in nicely. The white is a stark contrast to every other Black Rose Wars we've played, I think. All of them are black and dark, but this is a Japanese theme, so they've gone with white and the little pink flowers. Now, of course, in the middle we have the space for the rooms. There are 7 rooms in total. The spiritual Black Rose room always goes in the middle here, and the rest are randomized and placed around the map. So you end up with a different setup every time. On the 2 opposite sides, you place the portals. So in this specific situation, these rooms would be considered adjacent, but you can also place the additional portals or start changing the setup as you see fit as you become more experienced with the game. Then we have the 2 cells for the mages, which are the place you go if you get defeated, and that's exactly where you start the game and then start moving onto the map and doing whatever it needs to be done to gain the more power throughout the game. Then we have a space here for the events card. If you've never played any other Duel game, there's a single events card and a cube that marks the rounds of the game. We will go through those as we go through the cards later. Now, on the 2 opposite sides, we have room for each mage. The players are supposed to sit opposite to each other. So here you can place your mage sheet. This is where you place your grimoire, and that's some room on the side for the discard pile. And then that's where you play your spells for the round. Underneath, we have room for the evocation cards. which are summons that the players can bring into the game, or equipment. And then this is the cube where you track the damage you have taken, and if you take damage equal to your health, you get defeated, you return to your cell, and of course the opponent gets some points. Or the black rose, if that's what killed you. These are 2 spaces for the quests, which again are in 2 big cards that we'll see later on. And this is where the school reference card together with the School of Magic deck is placed, so that players can take more cards throughout the game. There is also space for the forgotten spells, and this space right here together with this one is for the solo mode, or if the avatar is within the game. We also have the trophy tracks for each player and the black rose. And finally we have the power track, and of course whoever has the most power at the end of the game wins. That's it for the board. Of course it's super high quality, as the boards usually are in Black Rose Wars, and I'll zoom in to keep going. Let's take out the plastic protective thing. And first of all, we have the room tiles. Starting with the spiritual Black Rose room, here there is room for the instability cubes. These are double layered, as you can see, I hope, from the side. The cubes can tuck in here and never move. And if you fill those with instability tokens through spells and abilities, the room at some point gets wrecked and flips to the other side. The other rooms here, just for the visuals. There we go. 7 in total. Then we have cubes for both mages and the Black Rose. These are used to mark damage, instability, trophies. They are limited, so if you run out of cubes, you are doomed. You have to be careful with that. They are like a resource. Next up, we have some large cards here. Player aids, 2 of them, of course. And the other side. And then we have the 2 mages. We have the stats on the side, everything you need to know throughout the game about your mage, a place for the trophy tokens and for the physical activation tokens that you use during a round, and flip on the other side to remember that you've done your actions for the round. Next up, we have slightly smaller cards. The school reference card, as usual, giving you all the information about the School of Magic that is included within the game. The quest cards. These provide quests for the players to fulfill and get power, 2-sided. And finally the events card, again 2-sided. And these are the events that happen from the Black Rose throughout the game for the 4 rounds. Now we have more cards here. I'll need some time to open these. Okay, first off we have the evocations, and there are 3 types of them. First we have the Mononoke, which works as a normal summon. You have a miniature on the board, you move it and you use it against other mages or however you want to, and it can be damaged and killed normally. Then we have the equipment cards. One of them is from a forgotten spell, the others are normal equipment cards, and they take up an evocation slot as usual if you haven't encountered any equipment evocations in the past, but they don't have a miniature on the board, they are equipped on you, and other mages can target them by targeting the space in which your mage is in. They have health, they can be destroyed, and they give benefits to the mage that equips them. And then we have the command card decks for the Mononoke. When it is used as an avatar, we have the first moon deck, the second moon, and the third moon. These are higher difficulty, and they dictate how the avatar moves and what it does around the map. And the final deck of cards here, we have the Mononoke card if it is used as an avatar. All the information you need is here. And then we have spell cards. First of all, we have 4 forgotten spells. The backs are always the same. As usual, the cards have an upper side and the lower side, and you choose which spell you want to cast every time you use one of those cards. Then we have the personal spells of each mage. They work in the same way, but they can only be used and taken from the mage that corresponds to them. You can see the icon here. And the other 3 for the other mage. And then finally we have the new School of Magic. As usual, 12 different spells, 3 copies of each for a total of 36 spells. And the moment we've all been waiting for, the miniatures here. Super high quality as always. There we go. I'll bring in the artwork as well, next to each other. And another one. I wish I had time to paint these miniatures because they look so good. Next to the artwork. And finally, the Mononoke. A large miniature, as you can see. There we go. And that's it. We've seen everything that was in the box of Black Rose Wars Duel Kami. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up before you go, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye.